So, I've got a little confession to make. I think that this game is better than this game. And it's not just because of nostalgia. Obviously, I have a lot of nostalgia for Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom has a lot of issues, in my opinion. Obviously, it is one of the best games, well, I'm dead, that Nintendo has ever made. I think that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are very different games from one another, but Tears of the Kingdom has a lot of physics based gameplay. And physics based gameplay is not that bad if you can say it. I just think Breath of the Wild does it better. All of the physics in this game are well thought out, and it seems like Tears of the Kingdom doesn't have the best performance in terms of physics. And that's because there are a lot of deaths that occur in Tears of the Kingdom because of the physics gameplay. Breath of the Wild has a perfect balance between physics and actual combat. It mixes it in so subtly that it doesn't become a bother or overwhelming to use physics in Breath of the Wild. With Tears, if you mess with the physics too much, you'll get exactly that. A lot of deaths and a lot of anger towards this game. In the first 3 hours, I pretty much rage quit twice, and I've never done that with Breath of the Wild in the first 50. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom has a lot to learn, but it should have learned from its predecessor, Breath of the Wild. You have all of these abilities that you can use, but I feel like most of them are required for specific moments and not exactly something you can use all the time. Now, I can just use this right now, obviously, but I feel like it just goes a little too far. While Breath of the Wild doesn't give you too much power, so it doesn't change the game or cause any kind of dangerous environmental risks like Tears of the Kingdom does. There's so much working against you, including yourself, because you can control physics to your very will. But it's not only the physics that ruins Tears of the Kingdom for me, comparing it to Breath of the Wild. It's just the open world itself and the pacing of the game. I mean, just look at it. It looks exactly like Tears of the Kingdom. That's another thing that kind of dampers the experience of the second game. It looks almost exactly the same. And playing it on the Nintendo Switch 2 made me realize that they're pretty much the same games, except one wasn't completely original, which is Tears of the Kingdom. With Breath of the Wild, it was one of the first types of Zelda games that let you explore an open world. It was the first time you were doing everything and exploring this world for the first time. And Tears of the Kingdom is the second time, if not the third time in some instances in the game. But I feel like with Breath of the Wild, it still feels like the first time I'm exploring all of these locations. And I'm not sure what it is, but with Tears, it doesn't feel like there's much to explore. It feels like things are a little bit linear this time around, which is the exact opposite of what Breath of the Wild did the first time we played it. You can even go to the last boss in Breath of the Wild from the beginning if you manage to. While Tears has different tiers of the actual kingdom, not Tear, but Tier, I believe I'm spelling that correctly. And you could actually go underground or in the sky or on land. And because everything is divided or multiplied between this entire world, you're going to explore and you're going to realize that some things are spread a little too thin, which kind of makes this dense world from Breath of the Wild not so dense in Tears of the Kingdom. And because a lot of these places in Tears of the Kingdom are very similar to that of Breath of the Wild, I didn't feel like jumping at the opportunity to explore every single nook and cranny of Hyrule because I felt like I already have. Breath of the Wild already took that kind of first time, and Tears of the Kingdom is the second time, so that's exactly what it feels like to me. It's not special in any way because of that. If they completely changed all the graphics and everything with Tears of the Kingdom, I would have thought differently about it, but only slightly. I feel like the nostalgia for Breath of the Wild is just so powerful. The way it looks, all the thoughtfulness, the fact that they took like 8 years to make this game without any kind of pressure from a previous title or to make it too similar to that of a previous title. And while I still find Tears of the Kingdom to be fun, I feel like Breath of the Wild is just the all encompassing experience. It's the wonder, the delight, the nostalgia. It's everything I ever wanted from an open world game, in my personal opinion, ever since Assassin's Creed started to sell out and duplicate all of the sequels. I feel like playing an open world game like Breath of the Wild is exactly what I needed. But playing a game like Tears of the Kingdom that makes your experience a little more linear is exactly what I didn't need. So I'm actually probably going to get rid of Tears of the Kingdom and just keep Breath of the Wild for the Switch 2. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom looks exactly like it, but the experience playing on the Switch 2 is a lot more enjoyable if I'm playing Breath of the Wild with all of these upgrades. And the game actually plays better now on the Switch 2 at a solid 60 FPS, 1080p. I think this is the perfect experience